My name is Brelin, and I met Jesus when I was 5 years old. I grew up in a house where my dad was a pastor and an evangelist, and my mom was a worship leader, and they both just loved Jesus. They still love Jesus, but they talked about Jesus all the time. But not only that, and I think the reason that I connected to the message of the gospel so early on is that they lived it. It was such a theme in our home that they loved Jesus. They shared about Jesus all the time. And I think that's why at 5, the gospel just made sense to me. And so we were studying the Bible before bed. We had been studying Samuel. And so one night I was playing in my room and I heard my name. So I went to my mom and dad's room and I was like, hey, did you call me? And they were like, no, you must have heard the TV. You can just go back and keep playing. And I was like, okay. So I went back to my room. I was playing again. I heard my name again, went back to their room. Same thing. They were like, we didn't call you. Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I guess it's fine. So I go back to my room, heard it a third time. I started to put the pieces together. And so I went back to their room and I said, you know what? I think God is calling my name. I think like he called Samuel, I think he's calling my name, and I'm ready to ask Jesus into my heart. And so we talked about that for a few minutes. I think they just wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. And I let them know that I knew that I was a sinner, that I knew that even before I made my first choice, that sin was in my life. And because of that, I couldn't have fellowship with God because he's perfect and he's holy. And the only remedy for that was Jesus, because Jesus is God's perfect son. He came to this earth. He lived a life that nobody could live, including and maybe especially me. He died on the cross to take on my sin, and then he rose again, proving that he was who he said he was, and now he's seated at the right hand of God. And because of that, I can know God. I can have a relationship with him. And then I can spend eternity with him in heaven one day when my life on earth is over. And I told him that I was ready to accept that free gift of salvation into my heart. And so we prayed. I asked Jesus into my heart. And my life since then has been kind of a roller coaster. I mean, just like any life, there are ups and downs. But I tell you what, the hope that I have and the joy that's so deep, that's beyond any circumstance, is such a gift. And it is only because of Jesus. And for that, I am so grateful.